Welcome to this reality-first guide on moving from a small, rural setting to an English-speaking country. To begin, we will set expectations clearly. International relocation is possible, but it requires disciplined planning, funding, and compliance with immigration law. As a smooth transition into our journey, let's first outline the big picture, and then move step by step through practical pathways you can follow over the next 12 to 24 months. Here is the agenda for today's video. First, we will set the context and address common myths. Next, we will share an important disclaimer. Then, we will adopt a visa-first mindset and look at costs at a glance. After that, we will compare three pathways: study, skilled, and lottery. We will then build a 12 to 24-month action plan, review diagrams to visualize decisions, and test your understanding with quick quizzes. Finally, we will conclude with key takeaways and your next steps. Many people feel a powerful pull to move beyond a small or rural environment to pursue growth, opportunity, and a fresh start. However, international relocation involves systems that do not respond to romantic ideals. Rather than starting with a location on a map, you have to begin with the rules that govern entry, which are mostly financial capacity and skills. With that in mind, let us move on to the critical reality check. The first decision maker in your journey is not the town or climate you love. It is the entry visa, and whether you meet its conditions. For most student visas, authorities require proof of liquid funds for tuition and a full year of living expenses. Without documented funds, applications are denied. As we transition, remember that for work-study dreams, working illegally is not an option. Compliance is essential. This is an educational overview based on publicly available guidance. It is not legal or financial advice. Immigration and financial rules change frequently and vary by country, region, and personal profile. Always verify requirements on official government websites and consult a licensed immigration professional or financial advisor before making decisions. Now, with that out of the way, let's examine why a visa-first mindset saves time and money. The diagram shows a decision tree. First, do you meet entry visa requirements? If you can show proof of funds equal to at least 1 year of tuition and living expenses, a student visa is possible. But work hours are typically limited to about 20 per week during term. If you cannot show funds, the next question is whether you have an in-demand skill. If you do, employer sponsorship or a work permit becomes possible. If you have neither funds nor an in-demand skill, the recommended path is to spend 12 to 24 months saving and training locally. Then reassess. The diversity visa lottery remains an optional, low-probability path that should not be relied upon as a primary strategy. With that structure in mind, let's look at costs. This table gives illustrative ranges for proof of funds expectations. In the United States, a community college might cost $8,000 to $12,000 per year, with living expenses of $12,000 to $18,000, leading to total evidence of $20,000 to $30,000 or more. In Canada, college tuition can range from $14,000 to $20,000 Canadian dollars, with a cost of living benchmark exceeding $20,000, pushing totals into the mid-30s to mid-40s. In Australia, tuition can be $12,000 to $20,000 Australian dollars, while the living expense requirement may exceed $29,000, leading to total funds around $40,000 to $55,000 or more. These are examples only. Always check the official institution and government requirements. Now, let's examine the three pathways. The study route can appear attractive because published tuition looks lower than university programs. However, the solvency hurdle comes first. You must show cash or liquid assets for tuition and a full year of living expenses before a visa is granted. Term time work limits, often around 20 hours per week, restrict your ability to earn enough to cover large costs after arrival. Attempting to exceed those limits risks status violations, deportations, and a future ban. Therefore, unless you already have funds for year one in hand, this path is not realistic. Next, we will consider the skilled pathway. The skilled pathway shifts investment from flights to qualifications. By training locally in shortage occupations, such as nursing, electrical trades, welding, HVAC, specific healthcare support roles, or targeted technical roles, you create a portable credential that employers abroad need. You must also understand licensing or credential evaluation processes, such as nursing boards or trade certifications. A clear employer value proposition increases the chance of sponsorship, which can bypass the strict solvency demands of a student visa. In short, spend limited savings on training and exam preparation first. Next, let's briefly cover the lottery exception. The diversity visa lottery provides a non-skills-based route with long odds. Eligibility depends on country of birth and certain minimum criteria. Because the probability of selection is low, you should not rely on it as your main path. Enter for free through official channels and avoid any services that charge fees or guarantee results. Now, to help you choose between the study and skilled approaches, let us compare them side by side. On the left, the study route offers a structured academic environment and possible post-study options, but requires substantial upfront funds and imposes strict work limitations that make self-funding unrealistic. On the right, the skilled route leverages employer demand and may reduce personal financial barriers via sponsorship, but it requires time to obtain training and navigate licensing, and job markets can be competitive. Depending on your current savings and background, the skilled path often provides the most pragmatic chance for relocation. With this contrast in mind, let's design a concrete action plan. Start by calculating your budget and setting a savings target that covers 6 to 12 months of local living costs plus training expenses. Then choose one in-demand vocation and enroll in a credible program with strong placement outcomes. As you progress, document competencies, collect references, and complete any required certifications. Prepare early for English proficiency exams and aim to exceed minimum thresholds to stand out. In parallel, research licensing and credential evaluation requirements for your target country. Finally, network with employers, tailor your CV to their shortage needs, and begin engaging with regions where your role is in demand. Now, to cement the strategy, we will visualize priorities as a mind map. The mind map centers on a relocation plan. The first branch is funding, highlighting proof of funds, a budget tracker, and an emergency fund to avoid financial shocks. The second branch is skills, listing shortage fields such as nursing and trades, with sub-branches for certification recognition and licensing steps. The third branch is visa options, contrasting student status with its work hour limits, employer-sponsored work permits, and the low-probability diversity visa lottery. The fourth branch is timeline, emphasizing a 12 to 24-month sequence of savings, training, exams, and applications. The fifth branch is risk management, pointing to legal compliance, avoiding scams, and having a backup plan. The sixth branch is location, where climate preference and cost of living are noted but intentionally deprioritized until you have eligibility. With priorities mapped, let us test your understanding with a quick quiz. Question: what is the most crucial initial detail when planning international relocation from a low-cost region to an English-speaking country? Options are: 1. Finding a beautiful small town with snowy winters. 2. Proof of funds and visa eligibility. 3. Willingness to work long hours in any weather. 4. Booking flights early to save money. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is proof of funds and visa eligibility. Immigration decisions are primarily driven by financial capacity and qualifying status or skills, not by personal preferences about climate or your willingness to work hard. Now let's try a second quick question. Question: which pathway offers the most pragmatic chance of relocation when personal savings are limited? Options are: 1. Study route with part-time work. 2. High-skill training leading to employer sponsorship. 3. Diversity visa lottery as the main plan. 4. Immediate travel followed by job hunting on arrival. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is the high-skill pathway leading to employer sponsorship. Developing in-demand skills increases your chances of receiving a job offer and sponsorship, which can reduce the burden of large personal funds. Relying on part-time study work, the lottery, or immediate travel without status are not reliable strategies. Next, let's reinforce the most important points. These are the non-negotiables. First, prioritize the visa before the location. Second, recognize that personal funds or sponsorship determine your options. Third, student work limits make self-funding unrealistic. Fourth, plan to invest 12 to 24 months in saving and skill building. Fifth, treat lotteries as bonus opportunities only. Sixth, remain compliant and avoid scams at all costs. Now, let's summarize and define your immediate next steps. In summary, start your budget and savings tracker immediately. Choose one in-demand vocation and enroll within the next month. Identify licensing requirements for your target country and create a checklist. Book an English exam date to anchor your preparation timeline. Set a 12 to 24-month plan with specific milestones. And reassess your eligibility every quarter before spending money on travel. Finally, let's close with a quick thank you and a call to action. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with a friend who needs clarity, and subscribe for more Reality First guides. In the comments, share your personal 12 to 24-month plan and the skill you will pursue. I look forward to reading your strategies and answering questions.